What's going on, YouTube? So welcome to part 5 of the Range Rover dash cam install series. This part we are going to be talking about the camera, the functions, and how to use the app. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump on in. So the majority of today's video will actually be in the BlackVue app. But first, I'm going to show you the dash camera and some of the controls and indicators on it so you can follow along when we're in the app. Facing me here, you see 3 indicators. We have recording, GPS Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi LTE. Now, the record LED will obviously be on when we're recording. It'll be red in normal mode and green in parking mode. The middle indicator for GPS or Bluetooth will indicate that we're connected to satellites for our GPS tagging. The white indicator there will be when we're connected to LTE or Wi-Fi. I do not have an LTE module or SIM card. I'm not planning on using cloud services with this camera, so that's not relevant to me. The Wi-Fi is used to connect to the app, and that is what I'm connected to right now. As far as controls on the camera, there's one on the passenger side, and it is the button to turn on and off the Wi-Fi. You simply press it.
Wi-Fi off.
Press it once and Wi-Fi will turn off. You press it again and Wi-Fi will turn back on. And you have the nice little voice confirmation that you have successfully done that. The other control is not a physical button, but actually a sensor. It's a proximity sensor on the side here. You can set this up to do multiple things. You can use it to toggle between recording audio and not recording audio, or you can use it to trigger manual recording, like I have it set up here.
Manual recording on.
Alright, now that you have a basic understanding of the controls and indicators, let's go ahead and dive into the app. To connect to the app, we want to make sure we are first broadcasting Wi-Fi from our camera. And we're going to go to Settings, and we're going to join the BlackVue network. And now we can click on the BlackVue app and connect to camera. So here we can toggle between Playback and Live View. At the bottom right-hand corner, if you click Live View, it'll show you, just like it says, a live view of the camera. There's the front. We can select between the front and rear just by hitting the buttons up top in the right-hand corner. If we go back to Playback, we can just scroll through all our clips. And it basically everything that's saved on the SD card currently. Now we can sort through these using in the upper right hand corner, you see the calendar. You can sort by date. You can use that check mark to select more than one video if you want to download them. The other icon there is to sort by parking versus normal or events. Events would show any hard braking, hard acceleration, or impacts. Manual would be if you had recorded something manual. That's just a nice way to find something quicker in this long list here. The main settings you're going to find using the gear icon in the upper right hand corner. So we're going to click that, and we're going to go to firmware settings. And here you can adjust the language or your cloud settings, which like I said, I'm not using. Your Wi-Fi settings, but the main ones we're interested in right now is basic. We can update our time zone, the video quality, you could turn up the brightness in the front and rear here. I keep them kind of just about center there. As far as image quality, I'm using highest extreme. That's the 4K. That's why I bought this particular camera. I wanted the 4K. You can also adjust how it's compressed here. HDR and night vision. So I keep that always on. That's going to help you be able to see license plates at night rather than them kind of just getting blinded out by your headlights. Let's see, recording. So here's a bunch of options for recording. You can turn on or off audio recording here. You can select not to have the GPS track and log while you're recording. You can turn off the date and time display in your playback. You can also adjust the orientation of the front and rear camera there. You can also adjust parking mode recording. You can choose here between off, motion and impact detection, which is what I have selected, or time-lapse. Time-lapse would just be it records one image per second, and that saves on space and data there. Whereas the motion and impact detection, it starts recording if something triggers the motion sensor or the accelerometers. Let's back out of that. If we look under sensitivity, we can just adjust how sensitive the accelerometer is for normal mode or parking mode. I have normal mode adjusted way down just because it was super sensitive while driving down the highway. Just little bumps and just acceleration, it would trigger events too easily. So I've turned those down a bit. Now for parking mode, I have them still set pretty high. I want to know if something's hit the car, and so it can record. Motion detection, you can also set these zones in the basically in the field of view of the cameras. If you want to turn off the motion detection in certain areas, you just uncheck in the grid, and you can do that front and rear. I'm just leaving mine full on. You can also detect, I guess, or adjust the sensitivity of the motion detection up with this slider right here. And let's go to system. So here we have a good bit of options. First one that takes my eye is the volume here. I like to have the volume up because this thing is not very loud, especially if you have some road noise or music playing. So I like to have the volume all the way up. Voice guidance, that just basically you can turn on or off the little voice confirmations of what you've done. So I leave most of those on. Proximity sensor, that's up there at the top, the second from the top under LED. That is where we decide what we want that sensor to do. So if we have voice recording selected, when you swipe that sensor or touch it, it's going to turn on or off audio recording, or in my case, I have it set for manual recording. The, let's see, speed alert, if you want it to yell at you for going certain speeds, you can set that. Battery protection, you're going to want that on. You see if you turn it off, you lose the low voltage cutoff. I don't use the cutoff timer. Basically, you could have it stop recording after, 48 hours or 6 hours. I just leave that off. I just have the low voltage cutoff set so that before we drop below 12 volts, it'll cut power to the camera to save the battery of the Range Rover. Now, if we click on LED, you can basically turn on or off some of the LEDs. Recording status is the red or green one. The ones that say front security and rear security, those are the LEDs that stay on in parking mode or normal mode, just to alert others that you do have a dash camera and it is on. You can turn that off if you want it to be a little more stealthy. I leave them on, as you can see right here in the front and then in the rear. And you can also turn off the LTE and the Wi-Fi here as well when in parking mode. User text overlay, that is a pretty cool feature. Here you can just type in whatever you want, your name, your car's name, your nickname. I'm just putting my YouTube name, CrazyK86CU, and it will overlay that in the upper left-hand corner of your video playback. So that's a pretty cool feature. Like I mentioned, language is just self-explanatory. Cloud we're not using, and Wi-Fi settings. All right, so now we do have a couple more settings. These will be in the upper left-hand corner. You click on the 3 horizontal bars, and you'll see settings here as well. When we click on that, you can select your map service. You can, on the map that toggles under the recordings, you can change between miles per hour and kilometers per hour. You can also adjust the theme between light and dark. And going back under that menu, firmware download, home, login, use, help. The other one I'm going to talk about is home. We click home and we go to that main screen that we first got to. In this screen, you'll see downloaded videos. If we click on that, it's going to show us any videos that we have downloaded from the SD card to the app on our phone. And these were all downloaded via Wi-Fi. Now, these can be selected and watched regardless of whether you are connected to the camera's Wi-Fi, because these are downloaded on your phone on the app. That pretty much covers settings. So now I'm going to show you a video to give you an idea of how the GPS tracking works. So I'm going to go to downloaded videos and show you one I recorded or downloaded from tonight. As you can see, video's up top, and we actually have a map underneath it showing our exact location at any given moment in the video. You can even see the speed there at the bottom, 74 miles per hour. Pretty interesting and cool feature to have, and you can turn this off if you don't want to use it. I showed you where that setting was a moment ago. And you'll see if we rewind, we'll start over where we were at the bottom. But that's pretty handy if you were to have an accident or an incident. You can pinpoint exactly where it happened. If you want to watch the video in full screen on your phone, simply click the video, and in the bottom right-hand corner of the video, you'll see that square. You just click that to expand the video into the full screen. In this particular video, I've downloaded both the front and rear camera views to the app, so you can actually toggle between them while watching the video. You just tap on the video and you'll click rear, and you'll have the rear facing view. Click front to go back to the front view. A really neat feature to be able to toggle back and forth between those views seamlessly like that. Of note, the rear camera is actually just as crisp as the front one. The rear windshield is just filthy right now, so it does make it hard to see and not show up very well, especially at nighttime. That's the BlackVue app. It's pretty simple to use and has a lot of neat features. The BlackVue DR900X 2-channel dash cam setup is awesome. It is on the higher end. Depending on which memory card you get, it could be high 400s, almost up to $600. You record 4K, have built-in GPS, parking mode. Also, you can have cloud connectivity if you want it. If you're looking for something a little more budget-friendly, check out the DR590. It still records HD. It does not have the built-in GPS, but it'll still be a great front and rear dash cam that'll work seamlessly with the BlackVue app. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it through the whole series here, if you have any questions or comments, you know where to leave them. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.